Welcome. Today's live stream is all about breaking free from procrastination and unlocking a whole new level of productivity for you and your team. So, if you're tired of battling deadlines getting missed or delays, you are in the right place. We're going to dive deep into some proven strategies to help you and your team overcome procrastination once and for all. All right. Well, I'm so glad that you're here. Let's get this party started with a little bit about me. Hi. If we haven't met already, I'm Deanna Mayo, and I am your team results and leadership coach. I've been coaching business leaders for over 19 years, helping them to build high performing teams that double their profits or more and achieve their wildest business goals, all while being present in their off work hours with the passions and the people that they love. And I'm really excited to share some game changing insights with all of you. So now that I've introduced myself, drop me a hashtag live if you're joining me live, or hashtag replay if you're joining me on the replay. Let me know where you're joining me from. I would love to know that you are here. All right, so as I said, I'm Deanna Mayo, and today we are diving deep into breaking free from procrastination. If you're ready to kick it to the curb and you want to see productivity get boosted up for you and your team, you are in the right place. If you are fed up with constantly battling delays and missed deadlines, you're in for a treat because I've got some really juicy stuff for you today. So before we go further, I do want to say, let me make sure that you know you're in the right place. And you don't have to comment, but if you hear any one of these that sounds like you, just say me, and that could either be for you or your team. So you don't have to throw yourself under the proverbial bus, all right? And I'll raise my hand so you know which ones I've struggled with too. Here we go. If you're struggling with missed deadlines or unfinished tasks, can I hold up both hands? If you ever find yourself procrastinating on something that's important, if you are tired of feeling overwhelmed and stressed out by your to-do list. Yeah, I can relate to that. Maybe not all of these at the same time for me, but certainly at some point over the course of my career. If you want to boost productivity for yourself and your team so you can start achieving your goals faster and easier. And if you ever feel like your time is not your own and you need to take control of it and stop letting procrastination hold you back. All right. So I'm glad to know that you are here and we are all in the right place. Absolutely glad to know that. So let's just jump right on in, getting really clear about what the problem is. Because when we have the awareness of what the problem is, then we can move to a solution. My opinion is that procrastination is like a silent killer in your business. It sneaks up on you, it robs you of your precious time and opportunities, and you don't even necessarily know what's happening. So imagine this. You've got a big project deadline looming, but instead of diving in and getting it done, you find yourself endlessly scrolling through Facebook or Instagram or, responding to emails. If that sounds familiar, that is the procrastination trap and inaction. And for business leaders like you and I, it is all too common. We don't often want to admit it in front of other people, but it's the fact of the matter is we've got a million things on our plate, and procrastination only adds to the overwhelm. And I'm not talking about I have something I want to do and I know that I need to do these other things first because they're more important and I'll get to that later. That's prioritization. And that's a perfectly valid strategy, which I highly recommend that you employ. Matter of fact, we dug into prioritization a little bit on last week's live stream. And so there's that. But the thing is, procrastination is not about laziness or lack of motivation. I'm going to say that again. Procrastination is not about laziness or lack of motivation. Now, some of you out there are thinking, well, that's crazy, Deanna. That's all that I've been told my whole life, or what I've been saying to myself and my own self-talk. But I can promise you it is usually rooted in deeper psychological blocks and environmental factors that can be tough to overcome on our own. So if you agree with me that procrastination can be a problem in business, give me a yes in the chat before we move into the tips I have for you today. I have 5 tips, strategies, techniques, whatever you want to call them, to help you move forward. And the fact is, I can never really leave it to 5, so I've prepared more than that for you because I love to over deliver. All right, the first step here, we have to take a moment and stop and reflect. So if you've ever found yourself stuck in a cycle of procrastination with a particular task or a series of things, first of all, we've all been there. But we have to look, before we start to try to overcome it, we have to explore what happens in the first place. Why is this happening? Okay. Understanding the root cause of our procrastination, and this is for us and our team members, right? By being here today, you can help your team overcome procrastination and be a value-added partner to them. We have to understand root cause. It's crucial because it allows us to actually address the issue at the core, which paves the way then for lasting change and increased productivity, and not just putting a proverbial Band-Aid on it. So if you are having constant headaches, frequent headaches, would you rather take a Tylenol every time you have a headache, or find out why you're having the headaches in the first place? Yeah. But easier said than done, right? Because we're in the middle of our day. We might not really want to look at it. We're busy. We figure, oh, I'll just get to it when I feel like getting to it. And so we don't ever really dig in. So I want to encourage you to just notice when it's happening, first of all, and then take some time to reflect on why you might procrastinate on this particular thing. Is it fear of failure? Is it fear of rejection? Is it about perfectionism? Could it be because we're overwhelmed? The fact is, once you understand the root cause, you can really start to address it head on. And the way to really do this is by practicing mindfulness and being self-aware and catching yourself in the act of procrastination. And by seeing those patterns as they arise, you can intervene and just redirect your focus more effectively and try to figure out exactly what is going on. All right, second tip is to develop strategies to overcome procrastination. So now that we have some sense of the root cause, it's time for us to roll up our sleeves, get down to business, and dive into something really practical that you can start implementing to kick it to the curb. So I recommend many different things depending on the source of the procrastination or the actual task that needs to get done. But the first thing is you can break it down into smaller, more manageable chunks. Just this week, I was talking with one of the teachers at the music school that I own, and we were talking about procrastination, not because he's a procrastinator, but because, our students often can be, as humans can do. And I was saying, that we often think we're procrastinating on something that's on our to-do list. And one of the many reasons why this can be is because what's on the list is not a task, it's a project. So let me give you an example. If on your list you have write a book, that's a project as a beginning, middle, and end, and it is far bigger than can be done in one sitting. A task might be write a draft outline for the book, brainstorm some titles for the book, research the statistics I want to share in chapter 1 in my book. Those are tasks. Okay? So we have to first look at what is it that is on our list. Is it a project? It probably needs broken down into pieces. But individual tasks can be broken down into smaller pieces too. And that makes them less intimidating and easier to tackle. Keep this in mind as we're going through this, and think about your team members as well. Here's a great tip. I think it's a great tip if I do say so myself. And that is you can break it into smaller, more manageable chunks and then delegate the first chunk to get it started, or multiple chunks within the project, within the task. You don't have to do it all yourself. You don't have to do it all yourself. All right, so if delegating for you is a struggle, though, well, then that's going to be a challenge, isn't it? And I've got a tool to help you overcome that quickly with my help, and that is my one-page delegation simplifier. So I'm popping that up on the screen there. It is deanna.live/delegate. And you get that in your delegations. Not only is delegating going to be a lot easier, but the results that you're going to get back are going to be far better than they've ever been before, because you've been clear and specific in your instructions and expectations for the task when you delegate it to your team. All right, let's talk about tip number 3. Stay focused and productive. Feeling scattered and unfocused is all too familiar for many of us, including me. I often feel scattered and unfocused. It is a habit feeling that way, and feeling that way is a habit we can break. This next tip is all about honing in on what truly matters and staying laser focused on your goals. And this way you can sharpen those productivity skills and get ready to tackle whatever comes your way. And that is, I encourage you and your team to set specific goals for each day and prioritize your tasks based on their importance and their urgency. And this will help you stay focused and on track. You can also utilize time blocking techniques to allocate specific blocks of time for focused work on particular tasks. And this helps prevent overwhelm and ensures that you get steady progress towards your goals. So during my week, I have days where clients can schedule appointments. And then I have days where I don't have any meetings or appointments at all. Those are focus days. Now, it might not always be a full day. It might be a half day. It might be a 2-hour period. But having that time to focus on that work that requires my focus is incredibly important and valuable to me. The other thing is, as you're going through your regular day, you're feeling unfocused, you're feeling scattered, you're feeling like you have to rush. You can have 2 things in place that will really help you overcome this. The first is regular breaks in your work schedule. I don't care if it's 5 minutes. You have to honor the 5 minutes, though, and break away from your computer screen, or close your eyes, close the laptop, turn the monitor off, what have you. Take 5 minutes to just sit and be, and do some box breathing. So you breathe in for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, exhale for 4 counts, and hold that, no breath for 4 counts, and just repeat it. You do that 8-10 times in a row, you're automatically going to be more focused when you come back to your work, because that short break can really refresh your mind and increase your overall productivity. If you need help remembering when to take the break, put it on your calendar. Have your assistant send you a note and say it's time for your 5-minute break. You can set a timer app that goes off every so often. If you're having a focus day and you don't have any appointments on your calendar, you might not even have your calendar open, just set a timer. Every 55 minutes, take a 5-minute break. I know sometimes it feels like if we pull ourselves away now that we're finally focused, that we won't be able to come back to it. But I promise you, doing this will make a huge difference for you. All right, let's move on now to our tip number 4. And this is about maintaining the motivation we need to reach our goals. So we take a breather, we celebrate the progress we've made, we repurpose our wins, no matter how small, and that can keep us going. It keeps the motivation train trugging along. And our next tip really delves into how maintain this momentum and keep pushing forward even when it gets tough. Because let's face it, it's going to get tough. It's going to get tough, but maintaining motivation is crucial because it fuels our drive to achieve our goals. It helps us overcome obstacles and stay committed to our vision, and our team members need that too. So here's the tip. I want you to celebrate your wins no matter how small they may seem. I recommend you start and end every day with wins. And this can boost your motivation and keep you moving forward. And get your team into this habit too by starting your conversations or meetings with wins and celebrations. One of the things we do on my team is we have what's called the start of shift scoop and the end of shift epilogue. And these two tools are communication tools. It's just a short message in teamwork chat. That's the tool we use. You might use Slack. And what we do is we share, here is what my plan is for the day. Here is the priority for today, the number one task, right? What support do I need? And then at the end of day, we share accomplishments first and foremost. These are the things we got done, what we learned, any challenges that we had in that day, the support we need, and then our focus for tomorrow. And when we end each day by celebrating wins, it's so much easier to keep going. Excuse me. All right, before I share tip number 5, I want to make sure that I'm providing you with something that will support you going forward, because procrastination plagues many businesses, their owners, the leaders, the teams, and we end up with overwhelm, which does not feel good physically and mentally. Our productivity goes down, so we're not getting as much done in the time that we have. We may miss deadlines, or we may have to elongate our timelines because our productivity is so low. And I truly believe a business owner's number one strategy for this is delegating tasks effectively and efficiently to their team. This can help us get things moving. And even though it's so important, and I think most business owners would agree delegation is a highly valuable tool, so many struggle with the process. They're unsure how to assign tasks effectively. And then that cycle of procrastination not only hinders the business growth, but it continues. And then we have more stress and more frustration. And eventually it is difficult to manage. And we end up with illness. We end up with burnout. And we end up with retention problems, meaning people quit, or we feel like we want to quit. And so without a streamlined delegation process, tasks pile up, deadlines loom closer, and the cycle just continues, and it becomes increasingly difficult to break. And that's why I want to remind you to get your free copy of my one-page delegation simplifier today. It is the ultimate tool for breaking free from procrastination and boosting productivity by delegating. And here's a little secret. If you yourself are feeling overwhelmed, you can use the one-page delegation simplifier to also help you get clear on what needs to be done, breaking it down into steps, thinking your way through what has to be accomplished so that your overwhelm goes away and you actually get started. This resource is incredibly simple. And don't let the simplicity of it fool you. It is powerful because it allows you to delegate tasks with ease and clarity and efficiency, and it enables you to overcome procrastination and achieve your business goals with confidence. And you can get yours today for free at deanna.live/delegate, which is the link down here on the screen. Or you can take a picture of the QR code right up here and get your copy of it today. You're going to be able to clearly define tasks and expectations for your team members, so there'll be no more ambiguity, no more confusion, no more back and forth questions before they can actually start the task. You're going to be able to prioritize tasks based on urgency and importance, making sure that deadlines are met without delay. You're going to assign the task to the right team members, leveraging their strengths and also providing people with development opportunities so they can grow in their role. And this is all going to help you keep procrastination from holding you back any longer. So get your copy at deanna.live/delegate. All right, let me share tip number 5 with you, and then we're going to wrap up. So many of you know me. If you don't know me, let's talk about the thing that I maybe love the most when it comes to procrastination, and that's tools. In today's world, there is no shortage of apps and techniques designed to supercharge our productivity. And this final tip explores some of these tools and how they can help you stay on track for you and your team. And this way, then we are streamlining our workflow, we're eliminating inefficiencies, and we're working smarter, not harder. So you can experiment with different productivity tools and apps to find that what works for you. Some people love time blocking. Other people use a task management app. People use the Pomodoro technique. There's something out there for everyone to help you stay on track. But you can also practice digital decluttering by getting rid of the apps and things that you no longer use. If you're anything like me, I get an app, I try it out, and then maybe it takes and I stick with it or I don't. But I don't always remember to get rid of it off my computer and clean things up. Another tool that I really love, which I suppose it's not technically a tool, but I highly believe in virtual co-working sessions, or what sometimes people call an online productivity session. So this is where we work alongside others on Zoom, Slack. There's even dedicated co-working websites where you can buy a membership to come together and work. Now, I host one of these once a week for me and some of my colleagues and clients. And the way it works is we come on Zoom, we share in the chat what it is we're going to accomplish during our co-working session. Everyone goes on mute but keeps their cameras on. There's something really valuable in that camera on strategy for keeping us focused and accountable. And then at the end of the time, we come back and we report what we accomplished. And I'm telling you, it's like magic. There's something about being there and calling out what you're there to do that gives you focus. And we have that added benefit of a little social accountability for staying on track and focus, because we're going to report at the end of the session whether we got our work done or not. The other thing you can do is absolutely set specific goals or tasks for yourself and your team members. Choose theirs, and then you have a co-working session together. And this accountability can really help keep you focused and motivated towards progress. And also knowing that you're working along other folks who are working towards their own goals can be so valuable. Now, when you break free from procrastination and you achieve your peak productivity, imagine what's possible. Deadlines are met with ease. The results exceed your expectations, and you're just smiling at your desk. Your stress level goes way down, and you enjoy a greater sense of calm and control. You become known for being reliable and efficient, which helps you attract more clients and opportunities. Your team feels more confident in your leadership. Your business is going to grow because you're able to deliver high quality work, and your team is delivering high quality work. And you reclaim your time and your energy, allowing you to focus on what truly matters in your business and in your life. And that's what I want for you. I mean, who wouldn't want that, right? Now, whether it's all 5 tips you decide to try or just one today, I do hope you take action to move yourself closer to being free from procrastination and boosting your productivity, yours and your team's. I want to thank you for joining me today. I hope you found these strategies for breaking free helpful. Remember, you have the power to take control of your time and achieve remarkable results, you and your team, in your business. Stay tuned for more tips and inspiration. And until next time, take great care and keep on striving for success. See you soon.